يا لغتي عربية حسبي بأنك منطقي وبياني عربية قلبي.
A set of paths.
It's a space. It's space.
Well,
it occupies space. Okay, give me something like that.
It goes through
Okay.
space.
Give me something like that. That's infinite. Go on.
The set of paths between here and here.
What do you mean here and here? That seems finite to me.
Where the tips of my fingers.
Yeah, that's finite.
Yeah, but no, but the set of paths between them is infinite.
You're talking about an abstract principle in this case.
What do you mean by it's abstract?
Abstract in the sense like numbers, yes?
Yeah, but you asked me for something that's infinite.
No, it's something tangible that's infinite.
Well, like
something material.
It's tangible. Like a fly could fly in one path to here, or it could fly in another path. That's a physical, observable kind of thing that can
that
happen.
space between your hands, was that always there?
Was the space between my hands always there?
Yeah.
We're not sure.
I'm asking you.
No, we don't,
because that was your example, so I'm asking you.
Well, we don't know where the space is.
Well, you were the one who gave me the analogy. Was that space between the 2 points was always there?
Originally, you asked what's an example of something that's infinite. So
I asked you something infinite.
And now you said has that space always
existed? I'm questioning your analogy.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Infinite.
That's all I'm doing.
Infinite possibilities are not the same thing.
Yes. One is abstract.
Infinite paths.
No. Yeah, but that's possibilities, right? And that again becomes something which is it.
And even that is contingent on the space between the 2 parts.
It's not possible as in hypothetical. Like there are real paths that could be taken from here to there.
But you're here to there.
Possibilities. We're talking about something.
It's not infinite.
But it's actually material.
Well, I say this is material. Like you could get a fly to fly in any of the paths that I've given you, and there'd be infinite paths.
No.
But what's the difference between why are you calling it a possibility when it's perfect? We could easily kind of start performing this experiment where we could program a robot to do these paths from one of my fingertips to the other one of my fingertips.
Or actually, I'll dispute whether that's infinite. Actually, because if we had that fly, and that fly was flying from one path and another path, but eventually, as the universe is finite, right? The amount of paths it would be able to take to that other spot would eventually run out. It'd run out of space.
No, I'll demonstrate to you how you wouldn't run out.
How?
You wouldn't even need the whole universe. You could just have one box that the fly couldn't leave out of, and the reason is because one path could be directly, a straight line between my 2 fingertips. Another path could be with 1 loop. Yeah. Another path could be with 2 loops. Another path could be with 3 loops. Each of these would be distinct paths.
They'll be distinct, but eventually you will run out of possibilities. You would. Of course you would run out of possibilities. Of course you would.
Because I'm giving you a way of generating as many paths as you want.
Actually,
you could have a different number of.
You could do that in a computer-generated event, and you will run out of the number of possibilities. Yes, you would. It'll be 1 in a billion or 1 in a million. It's finite.
Yeah, but then,
trust me.
Once you got to a billion loops, then you could tell the fly to do 1,000,000,001 loops.
Yeah, but then you can still come to an end.
No, you can.
You will. And listen. You know that space, that space which you have, that hypothetical space which you created, that itself is finite.
Yeah, obviously that's finite volume.
Okay. So my question was
the number of parts within it.
But hold on. My question is not how many parts. I asked you something that is infinite. Yes, tangible, something that is tangible. Your space is tangible. Yes, but it is not.
The paths are tangible as well.
Your space is not infinite.
It has finite volume. Yes,
that's all I want.
The number of parts within it is infinite.
Yeah, but anyway, so going back to the question of this infinite universe, yes, how did it come into being?
Well, if you said it's always existed, then it never came into being. It has always existed.
Okay, so did it create itself?
It was never created, so no.
It was never created?
Yeah, because it's always existed.
Okay, so in terms of the universe, the universe is not something that is constant. It's either expanding, yes, or I don't know if you heard of the theory of the oscillation. It's called the oscillation universe, where you have a contraction and expansion and contraction, and again an expansion and a contraction.
Right.
There's another theory. There are many theories. What you just mentioned is one of the theories. And even that itself, the universe you're somehow imagining that is always constant. No, it's not. The universe.
I did say it was constant.
Okay, so when you say infinite universe, has it gone through changes, and what changes?
Yeah, of course it.
So
it's
what changes?
Changing right now.
Can it come to an end?
I don't know if it could come to.
So everything you don't know. You don't know about the start. You don't know about the end.
Yeah, you don't
so
know
everything is a
either.
speculation.
Yes, it's because you don't know either.
No. I'm not saying I don't know. At least I know that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
wait. At least I know that.
I know which things I know, and I know which things.
No, hold on. I know as a believer that God exists.
Well,
And
no,
wait, hold on. I'll let you speak. Okay, let me speak now. Your answer was I don't know.
Yeah.
My answer is I do know that it was God who is basically the one who originates everything. Yes, and who is the one who is responsible for both life and death. I didn't say I don't know, unlike you.
Well,
now wait. You might disagree with me. Hold on.
You're of the opinion.
No, hold on.
So.
You might disagree with that, yes. But then when you come to logically think about it, the universe cannot create itself. The universe cannot come from nothing. So the only other possibility you have is thinking about some speculation like an infinite universe. But then again, you have the issue about all the different changes that happen in this universe. Yes, it is possible maybe this universe one day will collapse. Yes, it won't be infinite anymore.
Okay.
Well, so your infinite universe is just a theory which cannot even withstand. Yes, you might be laughing, but the scientists themselves.
You're saying I know for certain because it was written in a book that God made it. That means I definitely know it. But like that isn't the same as knowing something.
No. For you, look.
You're saying I know it because I read it and it says so in the Quran. But like that isn't a good criteria.
Okay, you know what? What you believe in, you said I don't know. So is there anything you're certain about?
Yeah.
What are you certain about? That.
So something.
Is
I think therefore I am.
Is that certain for you?
Not necessarily.
So you'll not die any day?
Well, it's very likely, but like who knows what technology might arise in the future.
Really?
Yeah, that's a good reason. Yeah.
You know, you're one of the first atheists who says that death is something that is not a fact.
I mean, it's pretty likely right now.
You know,
yeah.
Even Stephen Hawking, who recently died, didn't believe that.
Okay, but like that's not okay. He's allowed to believe that.
So, what kind of technology will make you live forever?
So I know you could, for example, like distribute your consciousness to hardware, and then you could
distribute. Oh, you believe in consciousness? Wow, where did you get that from?
Well, evidently we're conscious.
Define consciousness to me.
Well, like we're able to sense things. I think therefore I am. You know that you're sensing something.
Yeah. And is it tangible?
Is conscious tangible?
Yes.
What do you mean by tangible?
You understand what's tangible?
Tangible normally means can you touch something?
No. That's not tangible.
That's what tangible means. Can you touch it?
Not necessarily.
That's the root of the meaning.
Can you measure it?
Can you measure it?
Can you measure the amount of love you feel for maybe your girlfriend or your mother? And can you distinguish between which one is higher or which one is lower?
That would be quite an imprecise thing.
Well, is it empirically possible?
Is it empirically possible to measure how much you love someone?
Yes.
I think people would take issue with that because one person.
No, I'm not asking you about that.
One person could come up with a measure or a test for how much someone loves someone, but another person could say, "No, that's not a very good test. I would test it somewhere differently." So
no, but a test. Look. Hold on.
Test.
A test is such that it can measure something which is high or low. Yes.
Right.
For example, if you wanted to measure your blood pressure, there's an instrument for that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now this instrument, yes, regardless of who does it, where he does it, yes, you'll get the same response from that instrument.
Yeah, but only because we agreed on consensus on how to measure blood. We could measure
because you said consciousness. Yes. Consciousness is something. Can you measure or identify consciousness?
To some degree. Yeah,
okay.
For
what
example,
were the trees? Do they have consciousness?
There's a difference in brain activity between when you're conscious and not conscious.
Yeah, of course.
There's a difference in how your brain activates and which parts of it kind of use up glucose and oxygen.
Yeah.
Normally.
That's a measure. That's a measure. Yes. That's some sort of a measure.
So
do the trees have consciousness?
Well, we don't have any reason to believe they do.
Well, are you sure?
We don't have.
When you say we, who's we?
I know. Scientists have no reason.
Well, there are many scientists who say they do have consciousness.
Well,
what would you say to them?
Well, they're probably fringe. They're probably kind of in inverted commas scientists.
Well, you're you know this.
Like, show me a study published in Nature or Molecular Biology or a well-regarded journal that says trees are conscious. They would have a hard time showing that.
But
listen, man, you heard your trees.
by the way, this infinite universe, yes, is that mainstream or fringe?
Well, no. If I were to talk to a physicist right now and I'd ask him, like, is it possible that kind of the universe is infinite? Where we understand the universe doesn't mean everything that resulted from the Big Bang, but everything that has ever existed.
Is it mainstream or is it fringe?
Well, it's something that we can't. It's something that we can't.
I'm going to answer the question. Is it mainstream or is it fringe?
Well, what do you mean by it?
The belief in this infinite universe.
So I'm not asserting that that's necessarily the case.
Is it fringe or is it mainstream?
If you were to assert that,
why don't you just say it's fringe? Is that a mainstream belief that the universe is infinite? You know one thing. Wait. One thing I realized from you is that when it agrees with you, you will take the fringe view. But when it disagrees with you, you will completely disregard that.
No, because
I think this is a double standard
you've misrepresented
that you should actually get out of.
Well, you've misrepresented.
I asked you, is it fringe or is it something that is mainstream?
And I was in the process of answering you, but you want to misrepresent my views. And
I asked you.
Yeah, because
I didn't misrepresent you. I asked you.
You're acting as though I have asserted, as though I have said the universe definitely has always existed. What I actually did was I disagreed with you when you tried to give an argument for why you asserted that the universe definitely has not always existed. That's not the same thing.
So do you believe it? Do you believe there's an infinite universe?
I don't know. I'm an agnostic. Like I don't have any reason to necessarily discount it.
Okay. Once again, is it a mainstream view? Or is it a fringe view that the universe is infinite?
No,
this should be very easy for you to answer as a yes or no.
Well, I'll answer it directly.
Well, you're giving him
I'll answer it directly.
Which is,
if someone were to assert the universe has definitely always existed, that would be a fringe view. Yes, but that's not what I'm doing.
No, I asked you if it's infinite.
And what I answered you was.
This is like the third time I'm asking you. Can you give me a straight answer? Is it a fringe? Is it a fringe view? No, I'm not asking your personal view. Wait, 1 second. I'm asking you. No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so is it? You got two options: fringe, mainstream. Which one is it?
Now you're just giving me two words.
Well, you said the same thing about the tree when I asked you.
No,
you said that's a fringe view, straight away.
You're browbeating him, man.
Because the context.
But if you don't like, you don't have to.
No, but you're browbeating him.
He didn't seem to be complaining.
No, because the we need the context of the full statement. The full statement is, if you were to ask, is it fringe to say if someone were to say the universe has definitely always existed? Yes, that would be a fringe thing for them to say. I agree, but I'm not. But like, if I were to speak to a mainstream well-regarded physicist and ask them, kind of, is this impossible that the universe has always existed? Then they wouldn't say yes, of course.
So what does that tell us?
That tells us that
there's no scientific consensus on it.
Yeah, it tells us that it's something that we
have no means of knowing about. Those who believe that the universe...
So we can't discount it, and we can't accept it either.
Because you have already stated that if you were to ask a physicist if the universe always existed, that would be a fringe view. Do you agree?
No. If they were to say the universe...
Are you going to make a U-turn?
If they were to say, assert, yes, the universe has always existed, that would be a fringe view. But if you were to ask them, do we know whether or not the universe has always existed? They'd say, no, we don't have evidence of
so that would be...
We have to withhold judgment.
So it's either a fringe view or a speculation.
That's
fine. It's either a fringe view or a speculation.
Well, it's not
certain, it's for sure. It's not certain.
Yeah, it isn't.
It's not certain. Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Okay.
So the only options you have is A, is a fringe view, or B, is a speculation. It's not for certain.
No, but very few things are for certain. You say the universe has definitely existed because I believe it because it's written in the Quran. That's not certainty either. That's just dogma.
No, it's not dogma. That's what you think.
Yeah, it is. It's just something that you decided to believe.
You know, of all the people, you also said that that death is not a fact.
What's not a fact?
Death.
Well, if we're talking colloquially, then we could say, informally, we could say everyone's going to die because that's that's the current state of like technology, that everyone will die.
What's technology got to do with that?
Because
That's a natural process.
One could possibly
in the universe
indefinitely.
Oh, really? Give an example.
Possibly. We don't. Well, so for example, one could upload their content to hardware.
No, that's not possible.
Well, we don't know if they're not.
It's not possible.
You know,
it's not possible.
We don't know if it's
we
whether
do.
it's not. Why not? Why?
You must be really living in an alternate universe to believe that.
On a quantum physics level, nothing ever stays the same.
So what? We're changing right now. So we aren't dying instantly because we're changing as well. But we're still considered alive.
Exist. I don't exist. He doesn't exist.
Well, I exist.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, well, you don't understand.
I know
you
that
don't understand.
I do exist.
I know that I'm sensing.
You don't. No, seriously.
Something.
We're talking from a physical.
You know you're perceiving
we're talking from
something.
a physical point of view now. From a physical point of view, not emotional or thoughts.
It's not emotions or thoughts.
No, from a physical.
It's logical.
We're talking about the physical universe.
Yeah, so atoms exist or not?
He, me, that camera, that tree, this
What
floor.
do you mean by exist? Then?
It doesn't. There is no physical matter in the universe.
But there isn't much reason to believe
So,
that.
Sorry, that is.
Well,
physics.
we can measure mass.
No,
what do you mean?
No, mass is not physical. It's not a physical property. It's just mass.
So what is physical by your definition?
There is no physical matter in the
No,
universe.
but you use the word physical. Can you define that?
Are you a physicist?
Listen,
Yeah,
really, truthfully, if you really understand quantum physics,
But are you a physicist?
you have to more intuit it because there is no physical matter in the universe.
Okay, I suggest that you publish your findings in a physics journal and you'll revolution.
This is mainstream.
Well,
No, it's
I'm
not.
not so sure it is.
Well,
but
I don't think it's mainstream at all.
I think you can publish your findings in a
with
journal.
all due respect, you don't know what you're talking about. The entire physical world that we call the physical world is constructed from energy waves
Yes.
and subharmonics of those energy waves and harmonics of those subharmonics.
That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, though.
Are you one of those guys who believes in the Matrix?
There's no physical matter.
Well, there's something that we can measure.
Go to Imperial and ask a physicist. There is no physical matter in the universe.
I think if someone told you that, he would have been speaking in a
Not
more kind
somebody
of loose.
told me that. This is the reality of what it means.
Okay, well, you can publish those findings.
I don't need to publish those.
I don't think it's mainstream
They're
either.
already published.
No, I don't think so.
What do you think of
All right, anyway, I think I'm going to end this discussion because it looks like we are not going anywhere.
A quark, something that is a subatomic particle.
Which means what?
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
You're confused. You know what you're confused?
يا لغتي عربية حسبي بأنك منطقي وبياني عربية قلبي